Hey guys, Brian with VetteSource here checking in. We got a beautiful April day, spring here in southeast Texas, where the kind of weather we were looking for and we always like. Although it doesn't last too long for us. As you can see today, I'm Junkyard exploring. So I wanted to kind of give you guys a quick look at the first one I found here, which is kind of sad to see, this old 84 Corvette, which if you're too young to remember when these came out, these were like it car to have, you know. But here we got one sitting in the salvage yard, kind of meeting a pretty sad fate or end here. It's torn up pretty good. Looks like it's been off the road for a long time. There's the headlight assembly. That actually might be worth holding on to. Headlight assembly on it. There's a headlight cover. There's another headlight assembly. And they just have to scrounge those bad boys and save them. But as you can see, they picked this over pretty good. Not too much left of it. It's pretty sad to see it in this kind of shape. This was like the halo car for Chevrolet. It actually still is, but you know, this is what happens. Here's how you get a brake booster out if you can't figure out how to get it out of there. So just wanted to give you guys a quick shot of this one. I'm actually going to be looking for parts, as I talked about a few minutes ago, as I tripped there, for my truck. So I'll get back to you in a second with some other cars I find. Okay guys, I'm back with a little score here. I've walked through the truck section. As I told you earlier, I was looking for parts for my 1-ton Chevy truck and found a few things I needed. Somebody dropped something over there. But seat track that I was needing was right there in a nice 99 GMC Suburban. And then of course the deluxe sun visors. These have the extra little piece that comes out. These are actually pretty hard to find, so even though they're the wrong color, I'll go ahead and grab those and keep them, maybe recover them, because mine are starting to look pretty bad. So I just want to give you an overview. Here's our pile of scrap trucks. I'm going to go look around a little bit more and see if there's anything interesting to find for you guys, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, now here's another interesting one here, guys and girls. This is a 1990 Lincoln town car with the 1 year only 5-liter HO. Well, I don't know if this one's an HO. 5-liter though, EFI. As you can see, this is not a bad car whatsoever. In fact, this was a Signature Series Lincoln town car. You can look in here. This baby was just about brand new, it looked like still. Headliner is still really nice. Everything in this car is nice. But I walked over to it and noticed it sitting here. But what was funny about it is look on the side here, sold for scrap. So somebody sold this for scrap metal rather than try to keep it or use it, or I doubt this thing even has 100,000 miles on it. So these are some of the interesting cars that'll come up at these salvage yards. You can see even here, there's nothing wrong with this car whatsoever. People just taking stuff off of it. Temperature control, I mean, everything's still in here. Look at even the shape of the door panels. So sometimes it's really puzzling to see some of this go on, but it is another example of just how much we actually produce and throw away in the United States, at least. I'm not complaining, it's just interesting. But you can see even here, there's mild dust on everything, but this is a new car. So like even the air filter, I took care of it. So anyway, I'll be back with a second. I'm gonna see if I can find a few more interesting things before I get out of here for the day. Now here's one I had to stop and take a video of. This is a 1949 Chevrolet Fleetline, and I will admit, you do not see these pop up in these pick-apart type yards hardly ever. So it's rather interesting that somebody would scrap this rather than try to maybe save it, or at least sell it off for parts, something to somebody else, because there's a lot of good stuff on this car. Even actually the car is complete. The motor's still even there. Is what's funny about it. Front bumper, I mean, these are not like ultra collectible, but they're still 1940s vintage cars. you know, with interesting, sorry about that guys, with interesting details to them. Heck, I'd love to have it. Had time, I'd take the cluster out of it. Right now, if I could figure out real quick how that comes out of there. Even some of the buttons are kind of cool. But yeah, this is an unusual one. Like there's your manufactured, see if I can get a picture, Chevrolet tag, which is kind of cool. Let's see if I can focus in on that. Yeah, so just goes to show you what'll pop up here at these pick a pull type yards. Of course it's rotted all the way through underneath. Nothing you really want. I just thought it was interesting because most of the time I'm looking in the early model section and I'm looking at newer cars. See if that trunk will open. Of course not. Of course I could see through to the end anyway. There's nothing in there. But even this trim, you know, stuff like that people might be using. It might be the same between the coupes and convertibles. So it's just very interesting to see. Give me a few more minutes. Even that piece there. Let me get back to you guys. I'm going to finish up here in a few minutes because we're closing in about 45 minutes. And we'll go from there. Alright, and here's another very interesting early example from the time of land yachts. This, boys and girls, is a 1973 Cadillac Eldorado, and yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. This is a two-door hardtop. This is how big these two doors were even back then. So you can actually see the size of the trunk on this thing. It's a monster. A lot of corrosion actually. So it probably was a good choice to end up here, but man, the bumpers are good on it. Wow. It's actually a lot of nice stuff on this, but these cars don't really have a huge market other than just a few people looking for collectible bits off of them. And I see they pulled the door handles off of them, and they maybe even pulled the motor out of it. Yeah, they took the motor out because it's got a big old honking 500 cubic inch motor in it. So that's another interesting one here that you normally don't see. Let's see what else we can find before we get out of here. Get a shot of that grill before I sign off. That's a grill. Alright, be right back, guys. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up our junkyard exploring for the day. Unfortunately, my phone went dead before I could give you a big detailed shot or reason as to what I was doing here. You can kind of see this is my old work truck that I rarely talk about, but if you're going to be in the business I'm in the salvage or repairable side, you need to have a good work vehicle to haul all these cars and parts and all kinds of stuff around. So I've left the yard where I found a few goodies that I detailed a few minutes ago in the video, and I'm gonna head back to the shop, and then tomorrow I'll probably put another video out showing some of the things I'm doing to the car tomorrow, to the truck, kind of an aside from my usual side projects or Corvettes I'm working on. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. If you got any comments or anything you'd like to add to the discussion, let me know in the comment section.